All right, hello. This is poorly synchronized properly. But we're like in all sorts of the wrong ways right now. What are you doing with your hands?
What?
So how's everybody been?
Here.
I mean, I'm not dead, so.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's an improvement.
I'll be better when I have snacks.
Okay.
Do you have any snacks?
I don't have any snacks.
Oh.
I just have drinks.
I thought you were GM, not Steven. GM might have snacks.
GM never has snacks.
Because GM is a snack, huh?
No, it's a truck.
I don't get that.
It's like a rock. Oh no, that's Chevy, right?
Yeah. Still GM product.
Shows how well my advertising retention is working. All right, so before we get into when last we left, we'll wait for Tom to arrive. In the meantime, we hadn't quite wrapped up the previous day. All of you are still seated around a table, enjoying your last meal of the night.
Before we die. Yeah, you say last meal like it's very faithful, sir.
You said of the night.
Zug and Meg have gotten up from the table and already retired to their rooms. Is there anything the three of you would like to discuss before you retire?
Nope.
Anyway.
Nope. I can't think of anything. See anything on my notes that suggests that I have anything else to suggest or speak about?
The candle smells very good. Do you want to smell it?
That's not how the internet works, sweetie.
We're together in person. What's wrong with you?
You're in a different room.
No, we are at a table, the three of us.
Oh, you're blowing out the candle on the table?
Uh-huh.
And offering it to people?
You guys want to smell it?
I don't think you're supposed to take that from the table.
It's okay. I perform here.
No, this is a different place.
Not eating at the cantina. I wouldn't eat at that place.
What's wrong with
Surprised we drink at that place.
Oh, gosh. I'm kind of tired.
Okay. You're going to head off to bed?
Well, nobody wanted to smell my candles, so I don't know what else to do.
It's not your candle.
My candle now.
No, that's called stealing. I would know.
They don't want the candle anymore. It's a retired
They
candle.
do. You notice they have one on every table?
They're retiring this one.
No, they're not. Excuse me, waitress.
Yes.
Really? You want to try and get
Yes.
me in trouble?
How much are the candles?
They're not for sale. We need them on the table.
Right, but some of them have to get retired.
They're not old enough to get retired.
They get retired when they've finished, when they're out of wax.
No, you don't want it to go out on the table.
Yes, we do. The owner.
But then
doesn't
somebody's
like
left
wasting.
without a candle.
No.
Yeah, that would be the next person who sits at this table. Because you're going to... No, it's because you. Put it back. I am not getting arrested over a candle.
Oh my gosh. You're so sensitive.
I'm not sensitive. I just don't like this town.
I'm ready to go to bed.
Okay. You head off to your room. Is anybody else heading to bed, or is our punchy Mick Harcourtington and actual like get punched Harvest gonna stick around and try to have a conversation with each other?
I'm going to stick around and have a nightcap before I go back.
Okay.
My new apartment.
Okay. Are you sticking around as well, Galfine, or are you heading up to bed?
I'm just gonna head to bed.
Okay. All right.
So
well,
Hardcore can talk to himself. Per usual.
And
Alright,
so he
Pax.
doesn't
do.
get punched in the face.
All right, Pax. So you're in your room as usual. Are you gonna head straight to bed, or do you want to do any sort of meditating or reading?
Dating.
I think I'll read until I fall asleep.
Okay. So you're reading,
I don't know.
and you're feeling kind of like stressed. There's a lot of words on the page. It's just really like hard to concentrate. It's like you need to give me a will save or something.
What will that do?
It'll answer some questions that I need to know.
I always forget what will save means.
It's something like going kind of attacking at your sense of self. All right, so you like feel for a moment you like kind of feel like you're getting frustrated with the book, and then you put the book down for a second. You take a deep breath. It feels a little easier to read, and you can kind of get back at it.
It's a Thich Nhat Hanh book, so it shouldn't be very stressful.
Oh, what?
Thich Nhat Hanh, he's a Vietnamese Buddhist philosopher.
Well, here's the thing. Where did you get that book from? Because books are only available in House Narenhawk and only if you've made a trip to the library. So you're not reading a book here. What would you be reading?
I thought it was a book.
No, you can't be reading a book.
A comic book, maybe?
Can't be reading a comic book.
A book of poetry?
Let's see what's in your inventory that you're reading. 'Cause I like when people say that they're going to do
a
things.
musical book, right?
No.
You're just gonna say I have nothing and I'm imagining it,
I'm
which is
looking at
rude.
we look at your character sheet to identify what you're reading. And as I read here, it looks like you're just reading through past messages.
Fine.
Because at the moment, you don't have any books. You have to get what Zug went through to get a library card, and then you can rent out some books.
That would be nice.
In fact,
Speaking of them,
here's Zug to tell us all about what you have to do to get a library
How do I get a
card.
library card, Zug?
Here, 1 second. I need to log into roll 20.
Yeah, that's fine.
Also, I mean, I'm in my bedroom, so... Oh, well, I guess I could send a message in a bottle, right?
Yeah.
What do I do to do that again?
You would just write down the message. You'd write down his name and the numbers, and then his the message you want to send him.
I don't do anything in Roll20.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm going to write a message.
Well, you can if you want to. If you want to make it happen like more in the game, you can whisper him a message in Roll20.
And how do I whisper again?
That I don't know. I think it's
Slash
something like
W, their name,
Thank you.
and then the message.
Oh yeah.
I-
right at the top.
Yeah. Whisper.
What's his name again?
I think it goes. Hey, little girl.
Oh, it's not Zug in here.
No.
No, Zug didn't come up.
Whisper. Hold on. Slash W. Zug. I get Zug when I say slash W space Zug.
Oh, it shows Zarkle to me.
Are you?
Let me just try it and see if it works.
That went to me.
It says on my end.
I
Zug.
also got it, so it
Okay.
probably
Oh.
shows the DM
Yeah,
also.
I apparently see all private messages that go in between. Got it.
Good to know that. No privacy here, huh, GM?
Nope. The GM is your lord and savior.
Ew.
I need to fix all the cameras. For it will hopefully be the last time. Well, no, it won't. because we'll have more people eventually. All right, so you get a message. Oh, you send her. You're sending her the number of all the documents that she needs to fill out.
Yep.
All right. So you just get like a series of numbers and letters back. That stays when I do that. I have to do this all the way through. It's really annoying having to reset all these and that I can't know where I need to reset them each time. All right, the two of them start having a conversation. Galfine, how have you been feeling the last couple of nights? You had to spend that night with your with the rest of your party in that weird inn where once again there were people that were almost left to die. How are you feeling about the fact that you keep leaving a path of death behind you whenever you go through Zoe territory?
Like, maybe I should stop going to Zoe territory, because clearly it's not working out.
Do you really think it's the problem with Zoe territory? You don't feel like maybe you're somewhat the cause of this problem?
Which is why I specifically shouldn't go into Zoe territory.
Oh.
Like, if I don't go into Zoe territory, I can't get anyone killed, right?
Is that how you think
Maybe.
this works? You don't think you'll just bring your death into other places? Perhaps you're in love with death.
I don't love anyone.
Not even
Death
death?
isn't a person.
No.
All right, so something that you should be made aware of. So your alignment right now is lawful good, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So killing people or leaving people to die without concern for their remains is going to start shifting you away in your alignment. Typically a lawful good person will go out of their way to help people even when they know those people are doing the wrong thing. They'll utilize the law to make sure that people are taken well care of. If you're stabbing someone with your scythe and leaving them there to bleed to death, but you're not really sure whether or not, like, maybe they're just trying to survive, maybe they're doing what they have to because they need to be able to get enough food to, keep themselves going, and you're not concerned with that, there's no concern for what this person needs, it starts calling into question how your alignment might be perceived when, say, someone else uses abilities that perceive what your overall historical alignment is. And so you may end up finding that I'll ask you if the pattern continues, and if your mindset continues to kind of match that pattern, to shift your alignment. There's no real negative in having your alignment shifted. It just means that you will be perceived by other people. Alignment does two things for a player. One, it determines for you how it is that you believe that your character is supposed to feel. So in this case, I assume that Galfine started off as lawful good. She was a member of the Rurk territory. She believed that, like, doing the right thing and protecting people was important, helping people out was important, and the law was like the most important thing. But as time has gone on, it is acceptable to, like, see that for Galphine, the law hasn't really been very kind to her. It hasn't really respected her, and it's been a really rough time dealing with the complications of living here and trying to abide by the law when other things are kind of getting in the way of that. So maybe Galphine is becoming a little disenfranchised, so maybe the shift might not necessarily be unintended. It could be something that maybe Galphine is making a conscious effort to. The second thing, though, that alignment does is it determines how other players, other characters with the ability to perceive alignments are going to perceive you. So you know this from your experience, in House Rurik, the helmets that they all have on detect alignment. They detect your relative closeness to death. They detect all the magic that you have on you. And they detect whether or not you are invisible. Right, which obviously if you're seeing something visible doesn't matter, but if something is invisible, then you'll see it. Hold on, I'm cutting out. Come on, connection, come back. Can you hear me okay?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So part of where what these questions are kind of moving towards is identifying whether or not I'm going to be shifting your alignment. I will say, though, that right now it sounds like lawful good doesn't necessarily match with Galphine's alignment. Galphine is definitely moving away from lawful and a little more towards neutral. And again, that's not a problem if that happens, unless you really want to stick to being lawful. But then you need to make sure you're abiding more by the tenets of the law and being less willing to just kind of leave people alone and not being concerned with their needs. Also, punching Harcourt in the face is kind of a chaotic action. Just at random. Punching Harcourt in the face if he's trying to kill one of your friends or hurt someone else or steal from someone else, that's somewhat of a lawful action. Punching Harcourt in the face because he's being annoying, that's a chaotic action.
Oh.
Speaking of Harcourt, how are things over there in Chaos Land?
Things are just fine. My drink hasn't arrived yet, and I'm getting a little thirsty here.
They finally bring your drink over to you. It does take them a little longer than usual because most people don't stick around this late here. I'm sorry, sir. We normally have people clear out by now.
Why is that? Aren't you civilized around here and don't have half-meal drinks?
We don't have a lot of access to alcohol, this not being a Blade household. So anything we have has to be imported, which means we have to go back. We need to buy bottles. We need to write up paperwork and make sure that it all gets back to Blade so they don't try to accuse us of falsely selling alcohol.
Not even an after-dinner coffee?
I'm sorry. I didn't assume that someone would want coffee before bed.
Maybe. Maybe some of us don't sleep well without our coffee.
Fair enough. One moment, please. We'll brew you up a pot.
Thank you.
She comes back with a pot of coffee and sets it down on the table in front of you, and as well as a cup. She'll pour you out the first cup.
How much?
It's on the house. It's fine.
Excellent. Thank you
We're
very
very
much.
sorry for the trouble.
And while I'm sitting here sipping my coffee, I'm going to flip through the pages of my blank book.
Okay.
Not going to try and get anything out of it. I'm just going to stare at the pages as I...
That's fine. You can only at this point now attempt to get things out of the book once per day.
Right.
And we have not entered into a new day quite yet. So there are a large number of items within this book as you flip through it. Many of them are items that you don't remember seeing in Harcourt's last book, the few times you'd gotten glances at it, and you never heard Harcourt mention anything about them. And some of them don't even look like finished products. Like there's almost like shards of things on different pages. Like you can see what looks like pieces of two different things bent across parts of certain pages.
Okay.
You're pretty much being left alone here, which is good because typically there would be a lot of questions about somebody who happens to have a book on them in here.
Well, I'm willing to stay as long as it takes for me to finish my cup of coffee.
Okay. So yeah, you give me a perception as you're going through the book.
Come here, perception. Get over here.
Why do you sound like an old man suddenly?
Because I am an old man, little girl.
Okay. As you're going through it, you don't really kind of pick up anything that looks different than anything else. You know, a lot of magical items can kind of look the same if you don't really know what you're looking for.
So nothing that jumps out at me like I should be trying to extract that particular item from the book.
No.
Okay.
You do though, as you're handling the book, you feel like there's a pull towards something. Go ahead and give me a will save.
Yay, will saves. That's where I'm a giant.
Okay.
Oh, I am.
That's actually very good. For a moment, you feel like you really need to use the arrow, like almost to a point that you feel like it might start causing you pain, but you kind of like shake off that feeling and you close the book and you're like, I think this is enough book for the day.
With that, and we will drop back the rest of our coffee and head on out the door, leaving a small tip on the table.
Okay.
Wait for it, of 1,000 copper.
That's still a 10 gold tip. Should
That's
be
fine.
very happy with that. Anything to get the weight off, though, right?
Yep.
All right. So Zug,
Mm-hmm.
you probably are getting a little bit concerned. It's been a while since you've heard from your contact. You went off to bed a little earlier, hoping that by chance there might be some kind of communication there, as everybody else was sitting behind at the table. And when you do arrive there, there is a note under the door as you come inside.
All right, I'll check it out.
Okay. You pick up the note. One of your party members is suddenly going to be very interested in the goings-on with the cart trips and the werewolves. Make sure he doesn't find out about the spell. The spell is crucially important to us. At all costs.
With the what? Hold on, with the what and the werewolves?
With the cart trips and the werewolves.
Oh, cart trips.
Yes.
Okay.
Make sure he does not discover what you have done to the werewolf in question.
Oh, sorry.
Meanwhile, Harcourt stabs someone.
There are other things that if he happens to discover that are going on might be of best interest. If he were to discover, per se, some agreements going on between House Rezix and House Zoe, you should turn his focus towards that as much as possible. Make him feel like that is the utmost important thing to deal with. But keep his eyes off the werewolves. And as you finish reading the message again starts to kind of burn from top down. Do you have any questions about the message?
It said a party member?
Yes.
Alright. So it said if they ask about the werewolves, redirect it
basically if they
to
start asking about if they start looking into the werewolves. it would be best to steer them away from that topic.
All right, so I mean, I guess right now I would assume it's Delphine because of the necklace thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only thing you've got to go on at the moment. Since as of last session, Meg didn't say anything about what you know out of character. All right. So this evening, everybody actually sleeps pretty well. You'll be able to make it to next morning's questions with no trouble at all. The fam hands question to all of you is, would you be interested in helping to move the cart once more? We cannot find a full-time group to manage this right now, and since you've made the trip across Werewolf Lands a couple of times, perhaps you'd be willing to do it again.
What's our pay rate?
They reply back that it is 50 gold to each of you.
I don't know. I think we got other things to do right now.
Like
is
what?
My response. Not take 1 million cart trips.
Right, but we gotta make money somehow.
Yeah, we already got leads.
Meg says she'd kind of like to do that at least one more time just to kind of see it through.
Say I'd rather not travel into Zo territory any more than I absolutely need.
Yeah, they'll give us another 1 million copper. And then we'll have to deal with robbers and jewelers again.
Okay, so the overall consensus then, how are you guys going to make decisions when you come to these sorts of situations? Do you have a system for, like, voting or...
Yeah, we do whatever Zug wants. Is the
No.
system we've all chosen.
We refer to our lawyer.
Don't give him so much power. He's gonna get
I'm
drunk.
not giving him power.
I think we have a group discussion and come to a mutually agreed upon decision.
Does everyone
While
need
eating
to
kitten
agree?
jerky.
No kitten jerky involved.
Hey, if the group decides on kitten jerky, then that means kitten jerky.
But we didn't, because we're epic. I don't even remember what it stands for, but it's our
on the
name.
map.
Okay, hold on. Where on the map?
It's at the bottom of the map.
Oh, I have to make it so small. Extra peaceful, intelligent children. Excellent. Who the hell came up with that, guys?
Well,
Nobody wanted any of Zug's selections.
who submitted it? So far, I don't remember any of you actually submitting it.
That was me.
Yeah,
It has. Nobody's officially sent in the thing because no one has
I
said they're
think
sending
Zug
a
has to
message.
do the
Oh.
paperwork.
no, everyone has to. They said everyone has to send it to them, and it has to
It has
be
to
near
match.
perfect matches. Yeah,
Yes.
How do we send it?
through our message.
Yep.
Who do we send it to?
Back to the fan hands. The same people
Mhm.
that send you the first question every day.
But I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
do we
we-
have to use something in Roll20 to send it?
So the way this would work is each of you needs to either whisper me or send me a private message in Discord saying what the name of the party is.
This
Yeah.
All right.
And that locks in your name.
whisper feature work the
Wait.
same in Discord?
Yes. No. In Discord, you'd go over and click on my name, and then you would type in the message there.
Okay.
Okay. Looked like you were sending that. Yep. All right. I'm missing one more.
Who?
You guys
This
don't
is
know?
really long to type out, okay?
It's 4 letters.
You have to
Oh,
say
I didn't know I didn't know I had to just send 4 letters. I was typing out the entire dang thing.
Well, technically, only one of you would have to send. Well, I'll get into this in just a minute.
Oh.
So, we'll see what each person. Okay. So, your name is officially accepted. They reply back to the group with extra peaceful, intelligent children. But they inform you that they will not refer to you as Epic. As presently, only one of you submitted the name Epic, and the rest of you submitted extra peaceful, intelligent children, and then either a dash or brackets or some other method of enclosure to specify, and one of you submitted without the extra brackets or the dash. So congratulations, you are all children.
Can we fix it?
Nope. You officially submitted it. Laws are laws.
Which is why we refer to our lawyer.
I mean, perhaps there's a way to fix it, but you would have to figure out how. You got knowledge law?
Of course you do.
What do we really care, right? I mean, we're extra peaceful, intelligent children, and we refer to ourselves as Epic, right? I mean, isn't that what we're doing? That's what I thought.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So, question time. We're so late for question time. So you know what? Here's what we're going to do with question time. I appreciate that all of you have been very participatory in question time. So question time is now optional.
What?
You do not have to ask a question, but if you do ask a question, that question is worth 25 experience for asking it.
Do we get experience for answering as well?
You will get 5 experience for each question you answer.
Okay, I'll go first. Oh, wait, no, we have to get your question. Wait, no, we already got your question.
Yes.
What do you do when you're having a hard time falling asleep?
Really want my answer?
Give an appropriate answer, yes. You have some coffee?
How would you know? Appropriate answer. Some light entertainment with friends.
That sounds real creepy.
You asked.
I read back through my messages until I get tired because I don't have any books yet.
Mental note. Start sending her random message.
Yes, it'll help me sleep. Just make sure they're boring and not stressful.
Mental note. Stressful random message.
Galphine, what about you?
I just lay in bed until I fall asleep.
Oh, okay.
Nothing really special. Sorry to disappoint.
You don't even draw?
No, I have to be awake for that.
That's the point. You're having trouble falling asleep.
But wouldn't drawing make me just more awake? Considering I have to focus on what I'm drawing?
Not if you're focusing on sheep.
On drawing sheep?
Yep.
How's that supposed to help?
Drawing 1 sheep, drawing 2 sheep, drawing 3 sheep.
Yeah,
Just saying.
speaking of that, I count kittens jumping into goblins' mouths. As
You're
opposed to
so
sheep. Of course you
extra.
One yummy
Wouldn't you
kitten,
wanna-
2 yummy kittens, 3 yummy
Yep.
kittens.
You are
and then I
horrible.
just imagine the goblin getting larger and larger as each kitten jumps into his mouth.
A little bit of bore there.
Disgusting.
That's how Zug sleeps. He loves.
Disgustingly.
All right. Does anybody else have a question that they want to ask?
Oh, where's my question? Here. Would you rather see everything in slow motion or see everything move at double speed?
Slow motion.
I think slow motion. I think double speed would make me feel sick.
Coffee?
The thing is, if it was in slow motion, then I'd have to see Harcourt for longer. But if it's at double speed, then it'll be theoretically harder for drawing.
So which is it?
I guess I'd have to go with slow motion, but just not look at Harcourt.
Damn.
All right, Harcourt, how about you?
Oh, that would definitely be slow motion. It would make it easier to pick people's pockets.
Oh, of course.
All right. Anybody else have any questions they want to ask?
Nope.
Not even for the XP?
Nope. If I have the option to avoid questions, I'm avoiding them.
Oh my lord.
All right. So, who wants to handle the recap?
I can share some things.
Okay, go ahead.
I did a performance in the afternoon, and it was delightful once I got warmed up. And Meg went to a temple. I don't know all that happened while she was there, but she got some new information, I think.
I thought
And-
she didn't tell us at the end.
Did she?
No, Meg did not end up sharing the information.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought she did the tables. Okay.
I don't think so. I'll go back through the video later and double check, and I'll let you know if there is different info there. But
Yeah, we might have just went straight to like trying to choose a name for the party.
yeah.
And we
But
chose
I
a
think
name.
I know she was at least considering telling us when we met up then.
Yep.
And I suggested the name that we finally agreed on.
As everyone didn't want to do any of my good names,
Your
I
name
had to be forced to go with the worst name.
Hey, you picked it. No going back now. What else happened? Anybody?
We had dinner, and I paid all in copper. Does that count?
All right, I'll give you 15 gold or a 15 experience for the recap. You definitely don't get gold for recaps.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Wait, who gets 15?
You do, Whitney. Tom, you get an extra 5 there as well for filling in some of the details.
Wait, and how many do we get for the questions?
25 for each question you ask, and 5 for each question you answer.
How many questions did I answer?
2. Because you don't.
So-
the one that the answer to the question you get from the fam hands does not count.
So that's 35 gold.
Yes.
Gold?
Experience.
Oh, 35 experience plus 15 for recap. 50 experiences.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do for today?
Wait, did we decide that we're gonna go on the mission or no?
The mission is there. That's up to you.
What do you guys think? We gotta have a consensus building.
Yeah, no, I voted no.
What do you want to do instead?
There was the extra hard mission or whatever.
What's that?
Wasn't going below the city, that's for sure.
Oh, that
It was investigating the what was it, sewer?
the goblin tunnels.
Yep, investigating the goblin tunnels.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it does.
What's the reward?
Death, I'm thinking.
Did I see what the reward was?
release?
I don't remember.
Give me an intel check to try to remember.
All right.
Now,
Ooh.
you don't remember a reward. Neither of you remember a reward being on there, actually.
I think you got to negotiate your reward. It's probably something good.
What makes you think that?
Oh, because it said that it was a very hard mission.
You could always tell by that. Hard missions must pay a lot.
Yep.
Especially to random meat delivery services.
We're having that conversation.
And also there was the random missions board also. So we could go check out, see what's there.
I'd rather we stay away from random mission boards. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I've had
there
bad
might.
experience with random mission boards.
I mean, it could be worth just checking out to see what's there. We don't have to take any of those.
I suppose.
Why don't we go take a look?
Well, you guys got to decide on that.
I'm suggesting it to the group.
During this conversation about missions, by the way, Harcourt,
Yes.
you might have an idea. Give me a will save to see what kind of good ideas you might have here. For a minute, you think maybe you should fire that arrow a few times, but then you're like, okay, that's not really going to make us any money.
Not gonna make us any money.
You could still.
I'm definitely thinking about that place north of the library.
I want to get a library card.
Yeah, I got a temporary one that I need to get a permanent one.
We could do that today.
Yeah.
Yes, we could spend time near the library.
Does anybody else want a library card?
I'm for it. I'm okay with it.
All right.
I have to look for something there.
The epic library adventure.
Yep.
Epic.
Do I have to come along?
Are you epic?
Who else is gonna eat the books?
And threaten to punch me in the face.
I think the answer is yes.
Both of them in the face at the same time.
Meg says it could be a team building exercise.
A lot of synergy in it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm drawing the entire time.
Okay.
You could draw our adventure.
All right. So the five of you head on over to the library. When you arrive, you show her the proper. I'm assuming Zug, you show her the proper forms to fill out.
Yeah, and then like I said, I was gonna try and work towards the permanent library card.
Mm-hmm. That's really just a matter of time. If you want to just wait it out, in a few days you will get your permanent library card.
Okay,
A lot of what's going on right now is a lot of verification about who you are, where you're staying, what the conditions of your income are, etc., etc.
That seems like very detailed information for a library.
Yes, books are very, very valuable here. Considering information no books come in anymore from the outside, and no books from inside are allowed to go out.
But books can get created inside, right?
Books can be created inside. That is perfectly acceptable, and then they are stored in the library. They are stored in the library.
So Galfine could draw a book.
In theory, if she drew a book and she decided to publish it, yes. In fact, if she completed a book and she intended to share it with other people, she would be required to submit it to the library, have it administered to the archives. She would receive one copy of that book, and all other copies would be distributed by the library system.
Okay.
In accordance with law.
All right, I want to fill out the forms to get my temporary card.
Okay. So you fill in all the details. Give me a knowledge law or a intel check to see if you're successful.
Where is Intel?
Nope, her house isn't upgraded enough to deserve a library card.
You said intelligence? I don't see intelligence.
Either intelligence, which is one of your stats on the left-hand side that says INT.
Oh, uh-huh.
Or you can click on knowledge law. Actually, as a bard, technically, well, I'll add a bonus to this. You technically to roll this as if you had a rank in it. So I'm actually going to add it to your. I'm going to add knowledge law to your character sheet.
Ah.
I know it's weird, right?
Yep. I got an 18.
So yeah, you got you end up getting a 19 total. So you're able to fill out the forms successfully and you submit them, and they let you know it'll be a couple of days before you receive your temporary card, and then a few days after that, and you'll get your permanent card.
Do I have to wait to check stuff out?
Indeed, you do.
But I can read stuff while I'm at the library, right?
You may.
I want to read some songbooks.
Okay.
Are there songbooks?
There are indeed.
For piccolo?
There are songbooks for a very large number of instruments, including piccolo.
Okay, I'm going to go read those.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care. Anybody else looking for anything here? Can I help anybody find anything?
Actually, going to step outside of.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll a luck to see if I find a good book.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you managed to find what kind of topic are you hoping to find a book on?
Oh, I was choosing a random book.
Oh, okay. So you just grab a random book off the shelf.
Yeah, that's why I was doing a luck check.
All right. And Galfine, are you just gonna sketch here in the meantime?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down and draw.
Okay. Meg walks over and pulls a book off the shelf as well, but she seems to do it a little bit more methodically, coming back with a book on like various religions. All right, so Harcourt, you are outside of the library.
So now the arrow landed literally in an area just north of the library, as
Yes.
in on the library property or across from the library.
You didn't. You just got stopped at the building.
Got stopped at the building.
Yes.
So it wasn't trying to move past the building; it was just stopping in that area.
No, it was trying to move past the building. If
Okay.
you assume that if you let it go, it would have continued further north.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it another light toss and see what happens.
Okay. Give me a light toss. And here you're just trying not to botch, so I do need an attack roll. If you botch, you hit somebody and can go to jail.
Oh, jeez.
Well, because
Okay.
he's basically taking an arrow and he is like tossing it down the city streets.
What do you want to give me a roll that with?
Just do an attack roll. We're basically just seeing if you roll a 1.
Where's my base attack bonus? There it is. Boop. Oh, not commit. It won't let me do that as a
just
roll?
with your regular attack, like with your rapier or whatever.
Okay. Boop. Not very good.
That's all you need. All you need to do is just make sure you're throwing it and not botching and ending up throwing it where you don't intend to. So here you almost hit somebody with it, but it lands just a little to the side of them. And then so it again pulls you a little bit further northwest. Go ahead and give me another toss.
You could roll your ranged attack like that.
Oh, is there a generic ranged button?
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh. There we go. Boop. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right, so you get a little further. It's still pulling you northwest.
Okay, so I'm
This
heading
is
northwest.
a very slow way to do this though, because like
Yeah,
you're
I
only
know.
getting a few. Like you're not even getting a few feet at a time. You're like maybe tossing this about 10 feet forward and then moving over, picking it up, and then doing it again.
So is it moving on the map? Is it moving more towards the Ministry of Trade or towards that metallurgist building?
Give me a survival check, because that is what you would use to identify direction clearly, especially when surrounded by a city.
Survive. Come, mouse, where you at? Pink. Boom.
Okay, as you can tell right now, it looks to be moving you in about this direction. Maybe a little north of the Ministry of Trade, you assume. Because you can kind of see the tip of the steeple of the Ministry building, and it seems to be a little bit north of that.
Okay, so that would mean I'd have to do this intelligently. I'd want to get closer to the Ministry of Trade before I try to get it to redirect me. Alright, I guess I'm going to go back in the library and see what everybody else is up to.
Okay, they're all sitting at a table together reading or sketching.
I will sit down and pull out my book.
Okay. This is the library episode. I didn't think my campaign would have a library episode.
Yeah, this is like peak role playing, right?
Riveting. All right, so you guys, how long are you guys gonna sit around looking at books for?
3 hours.
Not at all.
Yeah, 3 hours sounds fine to me too.
What you got against books?
No,
There's
I'm
just more
just not
exciting
reading
things
books.
for us to do.
So hardcore. One thing that you do notice is that throwing the arrow a couple of times really seemed to it seemed to bring a bit of calmness to you. Like after the first throw and the second throw, and by about the third throw, you were feeling all right.
Alright. I am going to, as stuffily as I freaking can, I'm going to think about a bow and reach into the book and see if we can pull that out.
Okay, go ahead and give me a UMD.
Damn it. UMD. What? Oh yeah, use magical device.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
Yeah, shit for nothing.
You think about it. You reach your hand towards the book, and your hand just smacks off the page of the book, and it looks like to everybody around you that you just punched a book.
I'm pretty good at this, huh? This book learning stuff.
I'm going to a different table. I don't want to have my name attached to damaging library property.
I will wait for it to calm down and try again.
Okay. So just so you're aware, each retry can potentially hurt you at this point. You're dealing with Candor magic, which is very, very unstable. And so the first few times always feels good. It always feels rewarding. But then afterwards, there's kind of some weird kinks that start to happen.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me another UMD if you want to try again.
Come on, let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oh,
there you go.
Damn. You reach in and you pull solidly. And out of it comes a bow with a little face on the front of it and these very so you have a bow, and at the where you grip the bow, I forget what that's called, right at the top of the grip, there's a little head with these massive ears on the side of it.
Lovely.
What the hell, dude?
So how big of a bow? Or is it like a short bow or is it a long bow?
This is a long bow.
Oh, goody. We might need to go outside and do some stuff.
Nice book you got there.
You have. Hold on. I need a sleight of hand as well as you're doing this. Otherwise,
Okay.
like
I
everybody's
just
gonna get
suddenly
plus
pull
10
a
of
bow out of the
perception.
table.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, baby. There we go.
Oh,
Oh.
man.
Dang.
Booyah! And
Somebody-
nobody notices a longbow coming out of the table.
Someone's been practicing.
Yeah, if the party wants to give me perceptions, please do so. I'll
Alright.
do one for Meg.
Calvin is dead.
I love Galphine perceptions.
What perceptions? They like don't
She
even
hurt
exist.
herself by looking.
Yeah, not one of you watches as he pulls a longbow out of the book.
Really,
like-
Zug at 23 doesn't?
No,
Or 22?
it's 27. You need to meet the sleight of hand in order to see it
Oh.
happen.
I'd like to imagine Galfine's face is just planted against the book.
After a couple of moments, though, it will become obvious to you guys that all of a sudden Harcourt has a bow in his hand. When he's making that
where'd
comment.
that come from, dude?
I've had it. It's an old family heirloom.
Where
Surprised you
did-
haven't noticed it till now.
Where did
I
you
thought
see
you would
that?
pay more attention to me, Pax. Really? I thought we were growing.
You sound,
Party.
you
And
sound
you just
very,
now noticed this bow that I've been carrying around the entire time.
you
I'm
sound
afraid
very
I'm hurt. I am so hurt.
You're not sure. It looks like a bow. It's got big ears on it. Why does it have such massive ears for a bow?
A novelty bow is what I'm assuming.
Old heirloom. Given to me by my aunt's uncle's brother's cousin.
Why are you carrying it around?
On my father's sister's side.
I'm pretty sure it's a joke bow. It has some sort of joke gimmick.
Oh, like it makes a farting sound or something when you pull
Yeah.
it?
Zug, you wouldn't want to look it over, would you? With some of that fancy magic looking thing you do.
Yeah, probably not in the library.
I don't know why that sounds like a bad idea to anybody. I've had this bow the entire time.
Yeah, casting spells in the library. They're totally okay with that. Zug, you obviously know that they are in no way, shape, or form okay with the idea of casting spells in the middle of the library.
Oh yeah, no, I already said that. Oh,
No, I
we shouldn't
know.
do it in the library.
I heard you say it. I'm just reiterating. All right, so you guys gonna take it outside?
Yep.
I guess.
I am.
Somebody gonna let
What?
Is somebody gonna let Galphine know that you need to take it outside? Because Galphine definitely.
I want to see if she sees us leave.
No, Galphine, we're coming outside. Come on, you want to come with us?
Why are you going outside?
I don't
Yeah, but
know.
hold on.
Harcourt has the giant bow.
Before you say that, Galphine, give me a perception. Since these are
Okay.
She still hasn't noticed.
okay, you finally notice now that Harcourt has a longbow in his hand that has like a face on it with massive ears.
Now, when you say massive, are they like massive, like long pointed, or massive? Like...
No, they're like
Dumbo
big
ears.
Dumbo ears almost.
Okay, all right.
What's that?
I don't know, but we're gonna go outside and take a look.
Because you
Wanna
guys
come
haven't noticed it till now.
He's
How you
being
could've missed
real drama today.
I am not drama at all.
Exactly what drama says.
I need to say this ironic statement. You'd think I would have noticed something like that.
You'd think, but you're not real observant. I'm just saying. I've had it the whole time.
Sure.
So can we go outside and
Yeah.
I know like this area where I'd like to try it out. If you wouldn't mind.
Let's go.
Was everybody hearing music, by the way, or is it not working?
No,
I am not hearing music.
I don't hear music.
Oh,
Did
about now?
initially, but I turned it down.
All right, now I hear music.
Okay.
Like Diablo 2 music.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear it.
That is what it should sound a little like. Okay. So you guys head outside. Tom, are you going to hit it with a detect magic? Or do you
Yep.
want to take this somewhere else before you start doing that?
Well, I mean, anybody around? Well, Harcourt said he had a spot that he wanted to take us to, right?
Did you? I'm sorry, I might have missed
assume-
that.
Yeah, I want to head back to that spot, the last place where I landed.
Okay. That was still
You mean
on
like-
the street.
Oh, okay. Is there like park area or something like that nearby?
Not in Narenhawk. It's not in the Narenhawk lands where you're at. If you got closer to the Ministry of Trade, you could probably find a park.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I want to head over by the Ministry of Trade, towards that steeple, and I point towards
Okay.
where it was, point where the arrow last pointed.
You guys head a ways over, and you find this very small park. There is a sign listed on the front of the park that says, upon crossing this line, you are under the authority of the Dryad, with the permission
My
of
buddies.
House Narenhawk.
All right. I mean, what would we do to know whether they care about like casting magic in their area?
Knowledge local.
Yeah, well, give me a knowledge local or a knowledge law will work.
All right.
Okay, so both of you know that you should be fine as long as it's not in any way a damage-dealing spell. The Dryads don't have problems as long as the spell is, one, not heavily
harming.
resource-intensive, or two, not damaging to any of the property around.
So we should be fine.
Cool.
Okay. So
Yep.
you cast...
I'll head in.
Yep. Well, it's a park. It's outside. It's not in. Oh,
Head
you mean
into
cross
the park.
on the
threshold.
grounds, yes. All right, so you all move into the park. There's a few people around, but I mean, you guys are just some people there. Looks like some adventurers out to spend a day in a park. One guard, as you're wandering around the streets, though, does ask that if you're going to carry that bow around, do not hold it in your hand the way you're holding it. Maybe like sling it along your back or hold it pointed downward. But carrying it kind of like this is not such a great.
I'm not. I wouldn't be walking around. I would have been carrying it more in
Okay.
more peaceful way.
Okay. But the guards do keep their eye on you as you move about the area carrying that bow. So you get into the park, and what's going down?
I'm gonna detect magic and see if I can figure it out.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a spellcraft.
Please.
It's a good spellcraft roll, but not quite enough to identify like what's going on here. You do know that there is a strong amount of. Give me one sec, and let me grab the school real quick. There is a large amount of divination magic on this bow. A very large amount of divination magic.
All right. Large amount of divination magic.
The arrow had divination magic in it as well, didn't
It did indeed.
Yep. But yeah, I can't be any more specific until I sleep and have identify ready.
I think that should be enough for what I want. Do I is like the face that's on, is there a face on the bow or just ears?
There is a face on the bow, but it's a very like generic looking face.
Okay,
It's
so it
like
doesn't look
carved in
anybody on
wood.
It's carved into part of the handle. So you have the bow, and then there's like a grip on it, and on the grip there is this face with the massive ears coming out of the sides.
Okay, so it wouldn't look like anybody I know.
No, doesn't look like anyone you know specifically.
Can we knowledge the planes? Knowledge religion?
No.
Oh. Anybody else have appraise? Like, appraise might be able to tell you, like, if this is, like, a common bow design and some... I already failed mine.
If anybody else does have ranks in appraise,
Pax,
it would give you some details.
crit it.
Okay. So, on your appraise, you can identify that the bow definitely is not made up of a wood that is common to any area around here. It's not any tree you've ever seen or any tree you would likely ever see, you're pretty sure. As long as you lived here. The Dryads might be able to answer some questions about the wood, at the very least.
Can we ask?
Considering the people you know. If you want to head over there.
Yeah, I'll head over there. You guys want to come with?
I really just want to load this arrow and shoot.
Alright, well, I'm going to head over.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and follow her.
Okay. So the five of you head on over to the Dryad territory. Pax, I'm assuming you go to where you normally go and meet up with the people that you know.
Yeah.
So there is a very wood-skinned person that you normally talk to.
Sorry, a what?
A wood-skinned person. They have a skin that looks very similar to cedar, and they spend a lot of time right next to a massive cedar tree. And that is right next to the aqueduct that you normally spend time in. Normally when he's come to talk to you, he's been standing on the branch and looking over at you from the aqueduct. Or from his tree into the aqueduct. He looks excited to meet you and extends his arms.
Hi!
He hugs you, excited to have you around.
How you doing?
A tree hugger.
I'm doing quite well. How are you, Pax?
I'm good. I have a question for you.
You've brought friends.
Yeah, these are some of my buddies.
Hello, buddies.
That's Zug and Galfine and Harcourt. So, Zug, and Meg. Meg's just so little, I forget about her sometimes. Galfine is always drawing and doesn't know where she's going. And Zug keeps talking about kitten jerky, which is real rude. And Harcourt has this giant bow that came out of nowhere, and I was wondering if you might be able to
Didn't come out of nowhere.
Help us figure out what kind of wood it is, because it looks real different.
Oh, this is. May I take it for a moment?
Sure.
I just want to confirm something. He pulls back the string just slightly, looking at kind of the way the bow bends. Wow, this is
It's got a funny face on it, doesn't it?
It does. Rather humanoid. The Dryad then reaches over and places his hand on the tree, his cedar tree. And then his eyes slowly seem like... You know how it looks when somebody's falling asleep, but they can't really control that they're falling asleep? He kind of gets that look in his eyes as he touches the tree for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
The Druidic Council would like to speak to you.
Me?
All of you.
Why?
I was asking about the wood, and they've informed me that it's not from around here, and they're wondering where this has come from, and so they'd like to ask a few questions.
But we were coming from information.
The Dryad hands the bow back to you, Harcourt.
Taking it?
Yes, and they would like to ask a few questions. I'm sure they'd be willing to help.
But it sounds like they don't know.
I'm certain they know quite a bit. They know the type of wood. And when I was describing the bow to them, they seemed to know some things about it.
then I'm okay with it,
Okay, let's go.
because I do not wish to raise any suspicions.
Okay. So he at first starts to like walk into his tree, and then for a moment stops and looks back. I'll need each of you to hold each other's hand and take mine.
Okay,
Right.
Galfine, come here.
I hold Pax's hand.
Okay. Is everybody taking everyone else's hand?
Yes.
Someone else's hand? The Dryad then walks you through the tree. Each of you feel kind of pulled through the tree, and for a moment it like feels like your whole body is being covered in like a moist kind of have you ever put your hand in wet wood pulp?
Yes.
No, why would I have done that?
It's a very like kind of dry yet squishy kind of it's hard to explain if you haven't felt it, but it's a very unique sensation. But you feel like this like moist roughness on your skin as you're pulled through and you emerge out through another tree in a totally different place. There is a very large number of trees that surround the area that you're standing in, forming an almost like a barrier which is almost imperceptible to anything from the outside. The canopy cover above is so thick that only a small bit of sunlight is able to enter through the absolute center of the circle, where a small fountain of water, or a small fountain of water sits. And a series of stone chairs are seated where a number of people sit. 2 elves, 2 gnomes, 2 oak-skinned people, and 1 human. They all speak at the same time in everything that they say.
Saying the same thing?
Yes. Hello,
goody.
friends.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
When they speak, it's actually very harmonic. Pax, this would kind of actually fascinate you to hear this, because you can identify that each of them has a unique voice. All the words they say are tuned and spoken with the exact same harmony, speed. I guess speed is a part of harmony, but it sounds very like uniform in sound and very pleasant to the ears. I can't do it justice, no matter what I do to speak it.
Okay.
We are told that you have a bow from long ago.
That
Yes,
sounds
I
like a
do.
storybook.
Yes, I do.
Would you please place it upon the fountain?
All right. I cautiously place it on the...
Okay. As you place it upon the fountain, a hand reaches up from out of the fountain and grasps the bow. Another hand comes up from the fountain and pulls the string. And it pulls it, and it pulls it, and it pulls it. And for a moment, anyone who knows anything about a bow thinks that thing is about to snap. And then it pulls it a little more. And then the hands disappear and the bow drops back onto the fountain. It is as we thought. The wood will not break. They then start to hum very softly together.
Hi, kitty.
For a moment, everything starts to feel different. I'm going to need everyone to give me a will save. This is a non-damaging effect, so you may choose to fail. A non-harmful or non-negatively mind-affecting effect, so you may choose to fail.
What do you mean we choose to fail?
So you can choose to let the sound take over you. Looks like everybody's still checking. Okay. So Galfine, you become the most calm you've ever been in your entire life. All the problems that you've ever felt in your life just don't seem to matter anymore in this moment. Like, someone could probably walk up to you and stab you in the face, and you'd just be chill. Harcourt seems like a pretty decent guy right now. Like, you don't really care. Like, he's just a guy. What do you care? Like, he doesn't matter.
Say for it. Just this guy.
The rest of you feel like you normally do.
What was that? What is it?
Bubblegum eggs.
Ew.
So, besides the bow being out of wood that doesn't break, do you know anything else about it?
They are humming right now, and they cannot hear you. La la la, you can't hear me. No. The bow starts to raise up for a moment, and a number of, like, a lot of magical energy seems to suddenly, like, spill from out of the fountain and wrap the bow. And after a few minutes, the bow lowers back down onto the back onto the fountain, and the humming stops, and they look up at the five of you.
Hi.
This bow hasn't existed for 300 years. How do you have it?
Belonged to a friend, an acquaintance of mine.
Are you seeking this acquaintance?
Yes, actually I am.
They start to hum again. The bow, like, for a moment sparks with flame, and then the flame fades away. The bow lowers. Whom is your friend? The bow maker or the bow keeper? Or neither?
I can't answer that question directly. I'm going to say the bow keeper, but I am not absolutely sure.
You speak without certainty, and the lack of certainty makes us concerned. The bow... Go, speak.
My acquaintance left it to me in a rather unorthodox way.
So your acquaintance was not the bow keeper?
I got it from another one of his possessions.
And you do not know the maker or the keeper?
Know the owner of the possession which I got the bow from, if that helps.
It does not.
Would a name work for you?
Yes.
Candor.
One moment. They start to hum again.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of humming
I
here.
really like humming.
I feel like I want to play my ukulele along with the hums.
I'm knowledge localing who this
Go ahead.
Candor is.
Go ahead and play the ukulele if you want to.
Wouldn't be rude, would it?
No.
Would Piccolo?
On a knowledge local, that's enough to know that he has something to do with House Narenhawk's existence. It's you've seen a couple of things referenced, like when people are talking about Narenhawk. There's a couple of like places that are named like after somebody named Candor. But not a lot of other details about that.
I'm doing a pretty great performance. Are you paying attention?
They're not really paying attention.
My group.
Nope.
Not particularly. Sorry.
It's pretty nice.
Delphine?
It's pretty nice.
The humming stops. Are you looking for the one called Candor?
I believe I am, yes.
Do you have the companion piece to the bow?
I pull the arrow out from my backpack. I'm assuming you mean this?
I cannot believe they are both together.
That makes two of us.
To fire that arrow from that bow is to assure that you will hit your intended target. There is no barrier too great. There is no target too far for that arrow to find its home. Just whisper the name in full of where you wish that arrow to reach, and it will eventually find its way there.
So how do I find the arrow afterwards?
You must follow the arrow. To lose track of the arrow is to do what has happened to it over centuries. Many an assassin has long desired this weapon. A weapon that allows them to kill from miles upon miles away. An arrow that never stops until it finds its home where it belongs, inside its intended victim.
This makes it harder. Thank you.
Perhaps if you look for a friend and you fire the arrow, if they can survive the shot, you will find your friend.
Oh. It's an idea.
Otherwise, the bow will simply allow you to whisper to the bow whom it is you are wishing the bow's arrow to find its home in, and it will orient itself in the direction of that target. But you must know the target's name in full.
No, I don't.
You do not know the name of the one named Candor?
I don't know his full name.
Would you be willing to make a donation to the Preservationist Society of the Dryads?
Sure. 1,000 coppers? That sound good?
It will need to be substantially more, I believe. Please hold while we check the investment minimums.
What will the donation do?
It will
Guess
allow
Candor's
us
name.
to identify the full name of whom that you speak.
Oh.
Alright, so we also need to work on getting some super lethal poison to put on this arrow.
Who are we trying to kill?
Candor!
Not
Isn't
trying
that-
to kill
that what
no, and no. That would be such a bad idea.
Oh! We're not trying to kill Candor.
No.
That's what the Dryads led me to believe.
There it is. Looking for...
But I do know who I could use it on. Fuck so.
Well, bear in mind, it still only does regular arrow damage.
Yep, just aim it at Steve Allore's phylactrophy. That's the new intended target.
They do also inform you another bit of information you'll need to know. If the target does not exist in the world, then the arrow will simply fall to the ground.
Directly in front of you?
Directly in front of you.
Okay.
Oh, so no point trying to shoot Daizo with it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to remember what level the spell is, and I don't remember the name of it. Have you ever heard his name before?
Other than Candor is the only thing I ever called him.
But you have encountered him before.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Excellent. For a cost of... For a donation of... $1,500 gold, we can let you know his full name.
Guess I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one.
Our apologies. It does take a very deep connection to the land in order to identify information such as this.
I understand.
Perhaps that book you have might have the answers you seek.
Yeah, I suppose. And we'll have to look in it at some point. See what I can find.
I wish you well.
Thank you.
Thanks!
They said 1,500 or 15,000?
15,000, or 1,500 gold.
Okay. That shouldn't be that hard to get.
Alright. Galfine, your friend, pulls you back through the tree to where you were before.
Your friend meaning me?
Yes, your friend. Your dryad friend.
You said Galfine.
I'm sorry, Pax.
Just like in real life, how you confuse my name with anyone else.
Well, we know what price to negotiate the extra hard mission for now.
What will it do if you know Candor's last name?
Hopefully find Candor.
What are you going to do when you find Candor?
Ask him some questions.
About what?
How did I get here?
Oh, will Candor know that?
I'm fairly certain Candor might if I can get it out of him.
I don't know. I like the idea of assassinating someone with that instead.
How about now?
Peaceful is in our name, Zug.
Yeah, but think of
Actually,
how much
it's
money we could
extra
potentially
peaceful.
Exactly, extra peaceful.
Think of all the kittens we could jerky with this thing.
get. Oh, man.
Well, we'd have to know the name of the kitten.
No.
Might not be, monetarily profitable. It's going to cost us $1,500, 1,500 gold per kitten.
Well, I want to thank my friend for trying to help us.
It is no problem at all. You've done a lot for me. Thank you, Pax.
It's nice to see you.
I agree. It's nice to see you. I hope to see you again soon.
Do you want me to play you another song before I go?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll do one on the piccolo this time.
Ooh, something new.
I'm still learning.
It does sound that way. It was still a good song.
Hey!
I hope you and your friends find what you're looking for.
Thanks. See you next
So-
time.
Indeed. All right, so you've got some new answers. The new item.
That's exciting library episode.
Should we go check
Exciting
out
library episode.
the mission board?
Yeah, I guess we can get.
Yeah, we need some money.
Okay.
Sounds like.
You make your way back to the Fam Hands building. At about this point, it's getting a little towards the third sun's rise. When you arrive, the young woman at the counter glances over at the five of you. Oh, have you changed your mind on the cart mission?
No. Hey, how much did that extra hard goblin mission pay?
Oh, the goblin mission?
Yep.
Oh, you see, well, this is a bounty mission. So you will receive up to 200 gold for dependent upon the creatures that you eliminate.
What?
200
That
gold
doesn't
per
sound
creature.
extra peaceful.
The goblins are having a serious problem with their mining operations.
And you want us to murder people?
It's not people, it's monsters.
You want to just let the goblins die?
Yeah, do you want your people to die, Pax?
I think there's an alternative option that's not being considered.
We go down and have a nice peaceful conversation with the evil creatures that are killing the goblins?
Something like that.
Huh. Wouldn't be the dumbest thing I've done today.
We should warn you, though, it is a very dangerous mission.
Should we go look at the mission board instead? See what the other options
do
are?
we know what the creatures are? Are they like rabid rats or something?
The goblins have not been entirely clear, as many of them are not quite sure. Based on some of the descriptions, we believe that there are a few displacer beasts. We believe...
No, thanks.
We believe there is a Barkst and a few other miscellaneous creatures that are typical for mining operations there.
What knowledge would it be for these monsters? Knowledge like dungeoneering?
Knowledge
or...
dungeoneering.
Okay. I don't have that one.
Okay.
All of them are class skills, but I don't have any ranks, so that means I can't roll it, right?
You need to have a rank in it to
Alright, so just Pax would be able to do that then?
Yes. Pax, you could make a knowledge dungeoneering roll
To do what?
to know what a displacer beast is, or a Barkst.
Yeah, just to see if these are like super scary or what.
With that, you're not sure. You've never heard of these animals before. Alright, so you're gonna head over to the mission board?
Yeah, that seems dangerous.
Okay. The mission board looks to be blank, but it has some instructions that declare, place your hand upon the screen to view the messages.
Alright. I do it.
Okay. Are you placing your hand as a team or as individuals?
As a team, I'll do it.
Team.
Okay.
Yep.
Meg, get your hand on the board.
The screen flickers for a moment with a burst of light, and then a series of dancing lights rolls over the screen for a moment. There are two missions that appear on the board. One is the cart mission that you're familiar with. The other one is a mission that is affecting House Blade. Presently, House Blade is dealing with an issue with House Stonefist. They had a trade agreement with Stonefist for a supply of a regular supply of water. recently, Stonefist has not been carrying out their side of the bargain. Blade has documents showing that they have kept up on their regular payments, that no one that's a part of the supply chain has made any negative actions towards Stonefist. But Stonefist is making allegations that members of the Blade family have been making the water supply route significantly more dangerous. Blade says they can't be held responsible for the actions of their people. Stonefist argues that a family should be 100% responsible for the actions of its people. Their water is being stolen, and it's not Stonefist's fault if the water can't be delivered to a house that can't control its people. The request is that you identify the responsible parties who are stealing the water, or whether or not this is all a ruse and Stonefist is just trying to cancel a deal that they made that might not be as beneficial anymore because they realize the resource they could charge more for the resource at its current agreement.
So we would have to.
Blade's known for alcohol. What was Stonefist known for?
Stonefist is known for non-magical water.
That's for the aqueduct.
So non-magical water, first and foremost, has a much different taste than magical water. Additionally, non-magical water is required for some dishes, like if you're making specific food. It is required for some wines if you're making them. Your higher end wines are going to require an import from Dryad House of grapes, and an import of water from House Stonefist, and it needs to be as pure as possible to make many of those wines, and so the water trafficking is a big part of that.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense as to why those two houses are dealing with each other then.
Yeah. You are given 2 contacts, one for each house. One of the contacts that you have is... I didn't pre-do their names, so give me a sec. I'm going to get names.
Charlie.
Let's see here. First name we got is Severio Blade.
What
Is
about
the member
Charlie?
of the Blade household. The names have to be accurate to the region.
To get info, we're supposed to contact both of these guys,
Yes,
or choose
you
which
can
one.
ask each of them about it. And sure, I will say that Charles.
No, Charlie.
You can call him Charlie if you want. You can see how he reacts to it. Charles H. Stonefist is the other contact. Is the contact from the Stonefist house that would be managing the water deliveries.
That sounds a lot safer than going underground.
The mission, if successful, pays 100 gold total.
Alright, but yeah, I mean, it's, sounds like we're just investigating? Like,
give me a knowledge law as well here.
alright.
Okay, so you're aware that many of these kind of missions for when you're working with the fam hands also come with each house, or whichever house is on the winning side, usually ponies up some additional money as well. So the 100 gold is basically sort of the fam hands portion of the money that they have to incentivize somebody initially, and the additional money you'll get additional money at the resolution from whichever house you solve the problem on behalf of.
All right.
And that it is okay, the legal part here especially is that it's okay to negotiate in those situations.
All right, I'll let the party know so they understand that we would be very potentially making much more than 100 gold.
Seems like a good plan. Let's go.
Okay, who do you want to meet with first?
The closest location.
So that would be Severio, in House Blade. Once you accept the mission, so in order to accept the mission, each of you, the young woman at the desk comes over and explains to you, she notices you guys are starting to accept the mission. Each of you needs to place one finger on the message, or on the notice.
Okay.
Once you do that, your bottle pops. And then it gives you a request. Do you want to accept the mission? And then it fills in the mission details.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So each of you send back the yes message, and the details of each of the people appear in your bottle, and the message and the note on the board disappears. And all that's left is the card mission.
So should we go meet the first person?
There's one additional notification that you have 90. You have 90. Let me jump to my thing real quick. You have 90. You have 90. I'm sorry, not 90 steps. You have 3 days to complete this. I was going to try to do the math correctly, but this is what happens when I don't have a proper calendar, a proper date and time system set up. Okay, so you have 3 days to complete this mission.
Cool. I mean, it sounded like we were pretty much heading out to the House Blade right away.
Okay. All right, so you guys head on over to meet Severio. He is, when you arrive at the address listed on it, there is a rather large building that looks, that has these very large metal devices at the far end of it. They look like giant cylinders that stretch up quite a ways. Giant metal cylinders that reach up into the sky. As you move towards the door, a person at the front door is standing there at guard. What are you here for?
Water mission.
What are you talking about, water mission? I don't know about no water mission.
The posted mission.
We ain't got no missions posted up here. I don't see no mission signs.
What? Alright. Anybody remember dude's name? That's who we're here to see.
Charlie or Severius?
No, Severius.
Yeah.
Ain't got no Severius. We got a Severio. That baby.
Severio, yep.
Severio?
That's him.
Alright, you said this has something to do with some water?
Yep.
Hold on. Hey. Somebody opens up the door and pops their head up. What do you want? Go see what Severio's doing. Tell him about some water. Water. He's not gonna want to hear about no water. They say it's important, some kind of mission. All right. You better not be getting my head for this. He closes the door, disappears for a few moments. He'll get you squared away, I'm sure. Where are you guys from? Weird group you got. Couple of
Fam hands.
shorties, and you're a real tall one.
Yep, I am.
Ow. Hit my head on a bookshelf.
While we're waiting on that, let's take a quick pause so I can run to the restroom. We'll be
Oh.
yes.